I am the NBAroto man. Tonight, a look at the Orlando Magic. All right, on the phone with me, Ben Q. Roth from the website thirdquartercollapse.com, a site devoted to the Orlando Magic. Ben Q., how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, man.
It is crunch time for fantasy basketball players everywhere, and Ben Q. is going to help us find the hidden fantasy all-stars on the Magic. And we know that Turkoglu, Dwight Howard, and Rashard Lewis are owned by 100% of all the teams in 100% of the leagues. So they're off the table, and they're all healthy, right?
Absolutely. Howard and Turkoglu have played every game all season. Lewis missed only one game. They are durable. Howard has not missed a game at all in his career, actually, knock wood. So those guys, you can rely on them every night. Crazy,
man, crazy. Next up is Jameer Nelson, and I owned him for a while, and there was some inconsistency going on. What's up with Jameer?
It's been that's been the craziest position all year for the Magic. It's been the least consistent, and I think everyone thought that with Stan Van Gundy working, installing a new offense, higher tempo, Nelson would certainly score more points, and his assists would go up as well. And while his assists have gone up, his points are down. That's not so much a problem with me as either a Magic fan and a fantasy player. But you'd like to see more than maybe 6 assists a game from him. But he's also losing some touches to Turkoglu, who's running the offense a little bit. But with Nelson, it's the point guard rotation has been very strange. Arroyo took over a little bit, and it's like I want to recommend either Carlos Arroyo or Keyon Dooley. I really want to. The problem is that Stan Van Gundy hates using 5 guards in a rotation. And he's going to use either Maurice Evans or Keith Bogans. Those are the 2 shooting guards, and Nelson's going to start. That's locked up for him. So it's either going to be Arroyo or Dooling at the backup point guard, and it's so inconsistent that I can't really recommend picking either of them up. Keyon is a guy who will score maybe 8 to 10 points off the bench. Occasionally he'll pop off for like 15. That's a great night for him. But he's not an assist guy. I think on the year he's averaging maybe an assist and a half. He's just not a distributing type point guard. Whereas Arroyo is kind of like Jameer Light in that he will get more assists, but he's not as good a shooter or a scorer as Dooling.
We're starting to go deep here, but Maurice Evans is getting some decent playing time. It looks like he's getting about 22 per game, but he's owned by 0.0% of the teams out there. Is this an oversight, or is he a fantasy disaster?
Actually, I like Evans down the stretch. If you don't mind taking a chance for this reason, in that he'll give you threes. That's what he's really known as, is a three-point shooter. But he also gets to the basket on fast breaks, and also when defenses double-team Dwight Howard, they leave him open. Sometimes instead of hanging out the three-point line for the catch-and-shoot 3, he will go baseline. And actually Howard, who's not really a great passer at all, but Howard can sometimes slip through the pass through the double-team, and Evans will get an easy dunk. And with the Magic's really easy schedule down the stretch, I think there's 14 games left. I think maybe only 4 or 5 against teams over 500 right now. Everyone's really should see an uptick in their totals, but I think Evans could really produce well down the stretch. That starting 2-guard job is his. He's had it, I think, for most of the calendar year 2008, and I don't think he's going to lose that to Keith Bogans down the stretch.
Awesome. That is a great tip. I was going to ask you about Keith Bogans next. A whopping 3% own him. Is he bogus or a bargain?
He could be a bargain, but the fact that Evans is starting, it really hurts his value, Bogans' value. But he's not getting as many minutes as Evans is. I remember earlier this year he actually had one game where he shot 1 of 11 from 3-point range. So he lays those kind of eggs sometimes. If he were starting instead of Evans, I would say pick him up. But because Evans starts, they're both going to be available. I would take Evans, to be honest.
Obviously, his fantasy value is 0, but just out of curiosity, will J.J. Redick ever see the light of day?
It's possible, but it's unlikely at this point. Stan hates playing more than 5 guards on a night. Really hates playing more than 4. And J.J. is the third shooting guard behind Evans and Bogans in that order. Unless there's an injury problem or it's just a real blowout, he's not going to get into the game.
Anyone else that we did not discuss have any value for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I don't think so, because we discussed Dooling, Arroyo, Evans, Evans, Bogans. We know that O'Donnell Foyle was not an option here, playing only 8 minutes a game. Brian Cook is too inconsistent. Pat Garrity's on the bench. I think we got everybody.
We got everybody. How far are the Magic going to go this year?
I will say that we can at least get into the second round and even upset Detroit or Boston or Cleveland or whichever team we face there. I think we could get to the Eastern Finals just because we have the hot shooting of Turkoglu and Lewis. If any of those guys get hot, it could be lights out.
Lewis has got to be loving where he is this year.
Oh, absolutely, because he's never had. What centers did he play with in Seattle? Drawing double teams from him. Turkoglu too, although he's a little more versatile than Lewis. He takes the ball to the basket more. They both gotta love it. Absolutely, you're right.
All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for doing this, man.
Sure, it was great talking to you.
Yeah, the website is called Third Quarter Collapse. It's got a lot of credibility and a lot of buzz out there about it. I love it. And, dude, we'll talk to you soon.
Sure, thanks a lot.